it some and I'm spending some. What's the plan? Bet I get it done. It's me, yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Cold Hard Football Facts Show for September 12th, 2022. The first weekend of games is behind us. We're looking ahead to Monday night tonight. It's going to be a great game between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson making his return to Seattle. We're going to break that all down on the show today, but we also have a lot of stuff to talk about. We got to talk about what happened this weekend, how the Titans fell apart late, how the Cleveland Browns won on a 58-yard field goal, how there was bad beat after bad beat after bad beat after bad beat, and it absolutely killed me. Live bet on the Giants saved me yesterday. There you go, like that. Kind of like Seattle +7 already coming in from Sports Stack. Again, Seattle +7. I think this is going to be a closer game than people expect tonight at 6.5. I got to go with the Broncos at 7. It might be a little bit of a different story, but I locked in at 6.5 early in the week. I feel good about it, and we're going to see if we can do it. Broncos country, let's ride. As our quarterback, as our fearless leader says, Broncos country, let's ride. This is the Cold Hard Football Facts Show, CHFF TV, 50% off until Monday on CHFF. Cold Hard Football Facts subscription, guys. Link in the bio. I'm telling you, these stats are money. They've been proven over the past 20 years. We've been predicting the outcomes of games for 20 years at Cold Hard Football Facts, and we're offering 50% off. Red Earring, let's ride. Go up to get a Cold Hard Football Facts subscription. 50% off. 50% off. 50% off, promo code kickoff. You guys asked me all these questions on what's going to happen with Melvin Gordon and all that. Who's going to throw the ball? Who's going to throw the ball? What up, Sharky? Who's going to throw the ball here? Who's going to throw the ball there? It's at coldhardfootballfacts.com. Link in the bio. Get a subscription. 50% off is still nothing. What do you mean? Yeah, 50% off is cheap. 50% off is cheap, guys. It's $69 for the entire year. $69.99 for the entire year. Extremely, extremely cheap. Extremely cheap. I see cappers charging about $200 for picks a weekend, and people still pay them for it. Now, look at me. You're not paying for my picks. You're not paying for my picks. 15% off of nothing is still nothing. There you go. There you go. You're not even making sense. But 50% off of nothing, it doesn't even cost anything. 50% off of nothing is still nothing. I agree with that because it doesn't cost a lot at $140, but it's 50% off, $70. Sign up. You're not paying for my picks. If you hate me, that's fine. If you don't like my picks, you can fade them. You're still going to get them. But these stats are here to help you guys make money. All these questions that I answered you guys with like fantasy football, sports betting, all that stuff. All these questions were answered based on the Cold Hard Football Facts, just to let you guys know. So someone who came in and said, hey, great decision there. That was based on the Cold Hard Football Facts. They get better and better and better. And Adam Schefter, Kay Adams, they all talk about him. Adam K, Peter King, they all use the Cold Hard Football Facts, guys. Links in the bio. Promo code kickoff. You have one day. And when we're cashing out on Cold Hard, and you have one day left to get 50% off, we're cashing out. Promo code kickoff, people. Blake Sweats. Promo code kickoff. Jesus loves y'all, and Jesus loves Cold Hard, according to Dresh Money. Jesus loves Cold Hard. Make sure you get on the train. We're going to be breaking it down throughout the entire show, guys, of why you need to use promo code kickoff right now to get 50% off. Also, follow CHFF Stats on Twitter, and let's ride, as Russell Wilson would say. Let's start breaking down the games from the weekend. It was not a pretty weekend. Love that, K Cattle. Get on the train. Cold Hard Football Facts. Promo code kickoff. Get on the train and let's freaking ride. Get on the train. You have till 11:59 tonight. I highly recommend you do it right now. You also get my personal email if you want to send me email. Like one guy messaged me the other day and said, "What's my Xbox gamer tag?" You want to figure out what that is? You got to go to Cold Hard Football Facts and sign up. Okay, that was an interesting email I got. But there's a bunch of questions I can answer for you guys. Props, player props. How to interpret the stats. We can talk through that. We can have calls if you guys want, if you need it. If you purchase the subscription, you get a free trial. If you want to cancel it, great. But we signed up 70-something people in the past 2 days. Nobody canceled after the end of the weekend. Or one person canceled, I should say. One person. 70-something. That hit rate, pretty epic. Find out why. Cold Hard Football Facts, promo code kickoff. All right, so week one reactions. Which team surprised you after the opening Sunday of games? I'm going to go on a little rant here, and I'm going to be very, very upset right now. There were a few games that I lost this weekend that left a bitter, bitter taste in my mouth. Number one, the Cleveland Browns kicking a 58-yard field goal to beat up the Carolina Panthers. Beat up. That's because that's exactly what they did. Carolina looked terrible on offense. They look out of rhythm. Christian McCaffrey did not have a great series, great game. It just was not good. It was not good for Panthers bettors. Number two, probably the most pissed off I was. Probably the time where I wanted to throw a remote through the television the most was the Titans game. Titans 5.5 against the Giants. Giants came back late. Titans were in a great position to cover down the stretch. They couldn't do it. They were up 13-0 at the half. They fell apart. They lost by what? but they lose by a point. Just was not a pretty game for the Tennessee Titans. They didn't give McCaffrey the ball enough. They didn't feed McCaffrey enough. I think they left it in Baker's hands, but again, I think the offensive line was also trouble too. I don't think the offensive line played that well. Buccaneers, we hit. Luckily for us, we capped off Buccaneers pretty easily on that one. Let me pull up some other games that I have a lot of issues with. Jets Ravens worked out in our favor. Colts Texans. I mean, the Colts, what the hell did they do? They didn't show up to play football at all. I still think they're the best team in the AFC South by far. Tennessee looked really bad down the stretch and they couldn't capitalize on anything, but like the Colts decided to wait till the fourth quarter to play football. I think that was ridiculous. Justin Jefferson was the reason that my fantasy team won this weekend. So shout out Justin Jefferson. I think you got to go over on Wilson's yardage. It's definitely a skeptical number. I'd rather play over 1.5 passing touchdowns and then also lean and combine in a player prop with something else. Goggles ruined the Colts. I guess the Colts look so bad. Man, I need them to cover by 7. I mean, they were 8.5 point favorites at one point. That was what they did yesterday was just disrespectful. It was disrespectful to bettors. Colts ruined the Colts. I agree with that, Jay Goody. The Colts ruined the Colts. Jacksonville and Washington. I mean, Jacksonville was not the better team yesterday. I thought they would play better than they did, but they were in a position to cover down the stretch. Can't really get mad at that, though. Saints and Falcons. I mean, you can't start in the fourth quarter. Saints, 5.5 point favorites. Can't start in the fourth quarter. You can't start in the damn fourth quarter. Jameis Winston, man, like, what the frig was Jameis Winston doing the entire game? Like, come on, Jameis. You got to be better. The whole team had to be better. Philly, Detroit. I'll look at this game. Philly won. Detroit covered. Really good cover by them. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. And here's my biggest problem with how the NFL is turning out right now. Back in the day, all these old school coaches, we look at a guy like Bill Belichick. The starters play in the preseason. There's a reason for that. They need to get in game shape. There's a difference between being in shape and game shape. And I think the preseason allows you to, definitely get in better shape, right? If there wasn't there's a reason we have preseason football. It's one, to figure out who's going to make the team, who's going to get cut. Another reason is to help the starters get in game shape. This preseason, a lot of starters didn't play. We saw that. And a big reason, I think, for the favorites losing in many cases yesterday was they were not ready to play football. They were not in game shape. They didn't have a rhythm down. A lot of offenses could barely get plays in and out of the huddle. Kickers not making field goals, mistake after mistake after mistake. So I look at this Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals game. My biggest issue with the Bengals was the starters didn't look ready to play. Joe Burrow, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He had the appendectomy, missed a lot of the preseason, right? But still, they didn't look ready to play, and the Steelers looked ready to play. And the Bengals were still in that game. The favorites were in every game, and I think this is another reason. I think live betting is also the move. Allen didn't play in the preseason. He looked great. I mean, there's some guys that can do it. Josh Allen played in the preseason. What the hell are you talking about? Josh Allen played in the preseason. He played a few drives in the preseason, didn't he? This dude needs to find a job. His definition of a dork that was way into sports. It's a game. What? What did you just say? This dude needs to find a job. He's definition of that dork that was way into game, that was way into sports. It's a game. If you don't, what? That makes absolutely no sense with a guy who has Billy Rose bets as his thing, man. Come on. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. Make money on sports. It's a job. It's a game. Sports is a way of freaking life. Like that, guys, like there are so many comments I get on here. You're good at what you do, Terrence, a business. Damn right, it's business. But it's a game. There are so many comments that don't bother me. That one genuinely bothers me. That was a good one. That genuinely, because sports is a way of life. You know what just a game is? What's going on? What's going on? You know what just a game is? Sports is life. Sports is absolute life. A game? Just a game? It's more than a game. There you go, Randy Johnson. It's more than a game. Bear shocked. We'll talk about the Bears in a minute. A game? Hell, what would we do in life without sports? How can you not be romantic about sports, the storylines that go into sports, the game? It's more than a game. It's not 60 minutes on the field. It's the stories that go into it. It's the bets that we place. It's the bad beats. It's the roller coaster of emotions. A game? Are you kidding me? It's just a game? That's bullshit, man. Sports is a way. You know what just a game is? Hell, the freaking theater. That's just a game. What would you do if you didn't play sports? He didn't subscribe. I don't want him to subscribe. I don't want that guy looking at these stats. Just a game, man. If we didn't have sports, what would we do with our life? What would we do without sports? Saying ballet, yeah, like fucking like ballet. That's a game. Hell, Irish step dancing, that's a game. Robotics club, that's a game. Without sports, man. Sports is a way of life. It's more than a game. He just hasn't experienced his team winning before. I feel bad. Yeah, guys, like, hell, I'll tell you what, when the Detroit Lions found a way to come back and cover the spread yesterday, and it looked like I was going to go 1-4 during the 1:00 slate, and I found out I pulled 3-5 out of my ass, and it should have been 4-4 because the Browns won by a 58-yard field goal. Man, like, there was nothing like that feeling. The highs and lows that you get in your stomach. The butterflies knowing you got $1,000 on the line on a 1:00 slate and you got to find a way to win. Just a game, man. Just a game. That's rough. He ain't commenting again. So, like, you can make fun of me. You can make fun of me all you want. Hell, you can come on here, make fun of me. You can say I suck. You can say I don't know anything. People, you guys see it. People criticize the picks all the time. You think I care? No. But the fact that you didn't just insult me. You insulted the people that rely on watching sports every single day of the week. Because without sports, where would we be, people? That's ridiculous. Anyways, we'll get back to the show. Anytime touchdown scored tonight, I like Rashad Penny. Again, I didn't hit any anytime touchdowns. I saw someone with a Mike Evans touchdown here. Let's see here. Let's see. Bills Mafia in the house. What up, Bills Mafia? What up? I live bet Mike Evans scored a touchdown plus 600 last night. He scored next possession. Love it. Love it. He insulted 90% of men. We'd be watching Bachelor. Yeah. We'd be watching the damn Bachelor. Like, Jesus. I can't even get over that. I can't get. And the guy has Billy Rose bet. Like, he's got a betting account. Just a game. It ain't just a game. It's a way of life. It's a way of life. That's what sports is. Sports is the modern day gladiators. It's the modern day battle. It's the freaking Civil War, World War I, World War II. It's right in front of us every Sunday. That's what it is. Sutton going off tonight. I think the biggest thing without sports, everyone would be a political idiot. There you go. Melvin Gordon, anytime touchdown. I mean, I think, between Melvin Gordon, run the football tonight, I think he will have a good night. But here's my biggest issue. When I look at Melvin Gordon with Javonte Williams, right, who's going to receive the majority of the carries? We think it's going to be Williams, but at the same time, it might not be. So that's what makes it hard to pick a running back. We got to see how they're going to do. Up 11 units in week 1 so far. Nice work. Sutton's going off tonight, but what about Judy? Because they ain't both going to go off most likely. It's going to be one or the other. How does DK do tonight? I don't think DK does that well because he really wasn't great with Russell Wilson last year at times, and I don't think Geno Smith's going to lead him to the promised land. I think for this game to be close, it's going to take a lot of mistakes from the Broncos, but I do think they're going to make a few mistakes in this football game that are going to cause us to, have our stomachs drop a little bit. I'm up 13 in PPR with McManus. Still need to play. My opponent has Judy still to play. I'm scared to have. You probably ain't going to hit that. I'm going to be honest. I would probably, I bet if I had to see, if I could see the way ESPN, whatever app you're using, is projecting it, I bet they're projecting to their side. But you never know. If I didn't have sports, I would never graduate and wouldn't have a great job now. Yeah, like without sport, like that's insulting. That's insulting. It's not watching sport, just a game, man. Sports is a way. Sports taught me everything I know. Just a game. You can say betting's just betting, I guess, and get away with, but betting's a way of life too. But come on now, man. That's preposterous. Falcons win no games, but get Will Anderson. I think the Falcons will win. I think the Falcons will win something. I mean, they looked too good yesterday to not win something. Again, they had a late blow up collapse there. Shout out to my Bears guys. The Bears was the one bet, and we can keep going through these real quick, and we'll talk tonight's game. But the Bears was the one bet that I kind of regret playing. Like Titans -5.5 against Giants. I don't regret that bet. I lost it, but I don't regret it because 7 out of 10 times, I think if those two teams play, ultimately I come up on the winning side of things. Didn't happen yesterday. The Titans blew it. They sucked. They were up 13-0, blew a lead. What are you going to do? Classic Falcons loss. I agree with that. Niners, Bears, I regret that a little bit. But if you look at our preview, our game capsule, Niners had the advantage in pretty much every critical stat. The rain made a difference in there, and that's what it came down to. Packers, Vikings, I was on the right side of that. Luckily, Chiefs, Cardinals, I was on the right side of that. Raiders, Chargers, I was on the wrong side. But again, look at the Raiders. How many picks are you going to throw? How many open man are you going to miss, Derek Carr? Devontae Adams was still sensational, but like that's the biggest issue. How to drop Dak for Wentz, Mariota, or Winston, or play matchups like Matt Ryan versus Jags. I'd work a little bit. I would drop someone, but I'd also play matchups depending on the week. I think Winston's the best bet out all those once he gets going. My Cowboys season is in the toilet, end of an era. Yeah, the Cowboys didn't look good yesterday at all. Cowboys looked, quite frankly, they looked terrible. I mean, they couldn't run the ball at all, but here's why. And I told you guys this on the last Cold Hard Football Facts show. I did tell you this. So we're saying if it rains, toss the 49ers. I wouldn't say if it rains, toss the 49ers, but it played in exactly to the Bears' strength. The Bears are really weak in the secondary. They're better in the front seven. 49ers couldn't throw the ball deep. So rain ultimately negated that deep ball. And also, I mean, Justin Fields is explosive, right? Both quarterbacks were explosive, but the Bears got the best of them. Saints a playoff team. I think right now, the way it looks, the Buccaneers are a better team. They're going to have to struggle. They're definitely going to have to struggle. Let's see here. What do you want? I can't pronounce Aku and Banams. Hey, you talking like anytime touchdown scorer for Albert tonight? I mean, I can say that. Let's see. Would I sit or start him tonight? I mean, I'd play him. Depending. I mean, his tight end is probably anytime touchdown. What are the odds on that anytime touchdown? Let's see here. Let's see. Plus 250. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, guys, we saw it though this weekend. Tight ends didn't have a great week. A lot of people were high on tight ends find the end zone. Tight ends were not huge this week. I mean, besides the top tier guys, was good to like look at Kyle Pitts. Like Kyle Pitts didn't. What did he do this week? I mean, that's a top tier tight end, didn't do a damn thing. Tight ends are very hit or miss. 2 receptions for 19 yards. He didn't do a damn thing. Who you like in fantasy lineup, Sutton or Judy? That's a tough one. I think Judy has the better of the night. I think they're both going to have really good nights. That's a tough decision there, picking the one to start. I think this is the year Judy kind of takes over and starts becoming the guy there. In addition to Cortland Sutton, I think they're both going to be very good. Man, my bets went to shit yesterday. They went to shit for me too, buddy. It happens, guys. It's sports betting. But here's why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Dallas Cowboys. As I say, you guys can see the game capsule here, kind of. You guys can see the game capsule. So this is on coldhardfootballfacts.com again. 50% off. Last day to claim that 50% off promo code kickoff. Wilson loves the slot, guys. I agree. Last day to claim your 50% off. There was one reason that we said that the Buccaneers are going to win that game. Now, there's a multitude of reasons why they did it, but defensively, they were better up front, and offensively, they were better in the trenches run the football. I mean, the Buccaneers last season ranked 8 in offensive rusher rating, and they didn't even rely on the run as much as they did last night. 3rd in defensive rusher rating. The Cowboys couldn't really run the ball. I mean, it took Ezekiel Elliott a lot of effort to get the yards he did last night, and the Cowboys shut it down. So we said that going the game, and it played out. Now, obviously, not all these game capsules play out the way we expect. It's sports betting, but that's why you got to go up. Link in bio, promo code kickoff. Start your free trial today. Come on now, guys. Help me out. Free trial for a week, and then you get 50% off, $69.99 for the entire season. It's like $2 a week. Help us out. Let's go get up there, guys. It's going to be epic. We use these stats to win money, and we're going to be cashing out tickets with them. Grant Mitchell, everyone in the world's taking Broncos to cover Seahawks plus 6.5 hits. Odds makers know what they're doing. I agree. I think if they took it up to 7, it would change that a little bit, Grant, right? If Seahawks plus 7 became the move. I'm already locked in on 6.5 for the Broncos. I think it's a good bet tonight. I think it's going to be closer than expected. A lot of people think the Seahawks or the Broncos go in there and absolutely roll the Seahawks. I don't see that happening, but I do. It's going to come down the stretch. That cover is going to come down the stretch. I just can't get behind Geno Smith throwing the football tonight. Told you before the Giants game they were going to win. You did, Bob Joe. You did. You're right. I mean, they weren't in a position to win the entire game, and then Tennessee blows a 13-point lead, and they find a way to do it. You think Seahawks cover the spread? I personally don't know, but like Grant's coming in here is also a betting writer. He's coming in here. He thinks Seahawks plus 6.5 going to hit. It makes sense what he's saying. Odds makers know what they're doing because if they adjust it up to 7, it's going to shift a lot more people to Seattle. So that 6.5 is definitely something that makes me more inclined to go with the Broncos. Carr has tunnel vision for Adams. That one underthrow and double coverage, right? That one underthrow, he had him wide open down the field. There was one. He had the touchdown, the ball that he gave back, like his second pick of the day, wide open, end zone touchdown. I missed a touchdown earlier in the game. Derek Carr, like that's another one. They're still in a position to cover the spread. No problem, Chris. Thoughts on Green Bay? House of Combat, what's up, Jake? Thoughts on Green Bay? I think Green Bay got beat up a little bit. I think there's no reason to overreact. It's week 1. We saw what happened last year. They got beat up in game 1. Aaron Rodgers is working with a new receiving crew. So with that being said, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be just fine. Seahawks money line lock. Been Raiders fans for a year. Week 1's always a shit show. And again, we saw it last year. Week 1 wasn't good. They heated up in the middle of the season. They got cold, and then they got hot in the final stretch. Did you see the special teams, or they started hot and then they got cold? Did you see the special on MGM tonight? Russell Wilson plus 1,000. I did not see that. I don't use BetMGM. Denver 6.5 all day. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, Jake. A lot of people, the majority of people's on Denver. If you can go up, you can see. I posted a video talking about the Pickett app, which shows you who. It's like a social bet tracking app. You go up, link in bio, link your book, promo code Kern. You entered into a raffle to win between $3 and $100, but you can see like the percentage of the bets. It's like 80% of the bets is on the Broncos tonight. Mahomes didn't have to go off like that. Mahomes went off. Mahomes did some damage, and luckily I was on the right side of that bet too. But anyways, guys, link in bio, promo code kickoff. Let's start talking about tonight's game between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll give you my take on this one. I was one off my 10-teamer from Mike Eddy. Hey, it is what it is. What do you use to bet? I'm DraftKings FanDuel. I got booted from FanDuel because I had too many failed sign-ins, which sucks. So I'm pretty much DraftKings and a bookie. I go through a bookie a good amount. It was the Browns that beat me. Mike Williams seen the ball one time last night. Should I start Renfrow over him? Renfrow had opportunities. I think Renfrow is going to be a big piece of that Las Vegas offense. When you look at Devontae Adams, he's going to steal the show, obviously, but there's a lot of production that's got to go to other guys, Waller and Renfrow being two of them. Waller had a good game yesterday. He had opportunities, too, where Derek Carr missed him. So with that being said, I think those guys are definitely good. Let's talk about my Steelers, Rajon. Big win for the Steelers. Yeah, Steelers, here we go. Big win for the Steelers. Chiefs might surprise some people. Guys, the last 3 AFC championship games have gone through Kansas City, right? Until someone knocks them off, they are still the front runner. The Bills have something to say about it, obviously, but until someone knocks off the Chiefs, it is still their division. It is still their conference. Thursday night's going to be a huge game between the Chiefs and the Chargers. Saquon, comeback player of the year. Saquon ran the ball really, really well yesterday. I'll give him that. He ran the ball really well. I think he's definitely a viable option for that. There's a few guys out there that you could look at. I don't think it'll be Jameis based on what we saw yesterday. So winning strategy for the rest of the season, just live bet the Cowboys to punt every drive I've seen this season before hitting that bet plus 105 every time. And that would have been huge, Chris, doing that, just live betting them to punt last night. Overall, Cowboys are going to struggle down the stretch, guys. That was a huge hit losing Dak Prescott. Only way Bills beat Chiefs in the AFC Championship games, they have home field. I think it's too early to start talking about that. The Buffalo Bills looked really good in the opener. I don't think the Rams look good. But again, guys, the Rams are going to be better. The Rams are going to get better. It's too much overreaction. Green Bay is going to get better. It's week 1. We overreact in week 1. It's just the way it is. But these teams are going to get better. It's week 1. You lose week 1. So what? You move forward. But anyways, guys, we'll keep going. We'll talk about tonight's game a little bit here. Denver Broncos minus 6.5 for Seattle Seahawks. Over under set at 44.5 tonight. The big question is this game going to go over? Is it going to go under? And who's going to cover the spread? Obviously, I'm on Denver tonight. I think overall they're a much better team. Finally, Russell Wilson has a huge crop of talent to work with. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton in the receiving core, just to name a few. Those guys are going to have a huge night. They're going to be very active. You look at Seattle, Geno Smith playing quarterback, but they do some things really well. DK Metcalf being the receiver tonight, main receiver for him. He's going to get a lot of targets. I don't know if he's going to have a massively successful night just because Geno Smith's throwing the football, but something tells me this game's going to be closer than it is, than we think it's going to be. I personally think, though, Denver pulls out a late cover at minus 6.5. What do you guys think? Texans win the division? Get that? No. Texans aren't winning the AFC South. I still think the Colts run the AFC South. Even though yesterday was terrible. The Titans still look terrible. What they did yesterday was disgraceful. Broncos minus 6.5, Astros money line, Dodgers money line. Book it from Rondo there. Denver going to have fun, but Lockett and Penny keep him in it. I agree. I think Lockett keeps him in it. Penny's going to have a big night. I got him for a lot of props tonight. Could they not find anyone better than Geno Smith to play quarterback? Well, the reason they did that was the quarterback class coming out of college this year is very good. So it's really not worth going to get Jimmy Garoppolo, picking up a $25 million deal, which it was at the time, to have a better quarterback. I think they're not tanking this year, but they're going to play hard and then pick a guy up next year in the draft. Over. Here's my thought in the over. If it's close, I don't see it being a low scoring close game. I see points being put up on the board. If it's the Broncos could definitely win this game 44-20 tonight, 40-20, and that's kind of the way it is. Mac Jones didn't have a bad game. I agree with that. Patriots will get better. No reason to overreact. They just didn't play like the Patriots yesterday. What happened to them Florida Gators? Will Levis whooped their ass. That's what happened to the Florida Gators. I was never on Florida. I just stayed away from it in that game. I was too much uncertainty for me. Keep following the page though, guys. I appreciate that. And before we get into the player props tonight, and before we get into talking about the spread and all that, make sure you go up, link in the bio, promo code kickoff. Cold hard football facts, free trial. If you hate it, you cancel it. If you love it, you keep it going. $69.99. You sign up before the end of the game tonight. Promo code kickoff. I'm telling you guys, we're not giving this subscription away at this price much longer. So make sure you go up, link in the bio, promo code kickoff, and let's get it going, people. Come on now. Should we worry about the Bengals? No. In no world should you worry about the Bengals. They're going to be just fine. Joe Burrow missed pretty much the entire preseason with the appendectomy, so there's no reason to worry about the Bengals. Rajan, get that out of here. No reason to worry about the Bengals. I think they're going to be just fine. Guys, literally, if their long snapper didn't tear his bicep, they should have won that game yesterday too. Steelers had the Bengals. Think about it this way, though, Rajan. Think how bad the Bengals played. And they were still kicking a game-winning PAT. They still had the ability to kick a game-winning PAT. Think about that. That's how you got to conceptualize this a little bit too. The Bengals played probably one of the worst football games we could ever seen them play yesterday. I mean, Joe Burrow is giving touchdowns to the defense. Yes, the Steelers defense played very well. I had 25 points in fantasy. Our running back was hurt. When did Najee leave the game? At what point in the game did Najee leave? Najee here. When did he leave the game? At what point was it? He had 10 attempts, 23 yards, 2 receptions. Harris was hurt. Imagine if he wasn't. Steelers win by 10. I don't think so, man, because I could take it the other way. Okay, well, if Joe Burrow threw 3 interceptions and a pick 6. If Joe Burrow practices in the offseason, doesn't have an appendectomy, and throws the ball down the field, what do you think? Fourth quarter, he left 2 minutes left. Oh, so what the frig are you talking about then? That doesn't make any sense. I think he was beat up too. But like if Joe Burrow, you could say, oh, if Najee Harris was healthy, but you could also say if Joe Burrow played like Joe Burrow. Burrow had Watt breathing on him, and Watt tore his shoulder. I think the offensive line, listen, this year's offensive line is going to mesh. It's going to take them time, but this year's offensive line is better than last year's, and the Bengals still did something special. Russell Wilson over 12.5 rushing yards. That's one of those crapshoot plays, man. If he takes off one night, you're going to be good. If he doesn't, it could screw you. Burrow was never that dude. Burrow is that dude, guys. Did we see how cool and confident Burrow was down the stretch in that final drive before hit the long snapper, tore his whatever muscle he tore and couldn't go out there and snap? Burrow's that guy. I love the meme with Joe Burrows does bad with his appendix out and says his back now. LOL. Yeah, I like that one too. I saw one with like the dog in him, like the scared dog or something. That was funny. Tanner, hear me out. Broncos first quarter -0.5. Broncos first quarter. I think that's a good play tonight because, and here's why. I think that's a good play because I think the Seahawks are going to take some time to move the football. I think the Denver Broncos are going to come out on fire, and then if it gets close, they'll cool down, but I think they'll still come out on fire. I think they'll be in rhythm right away. I think Russell Wilson will be fired up, and I think if the Seahawks are able to cover or win this game, it's going to take them hanging around, right? So I don't think they come out and just dominate right off the stretch. I do agree with that. I like that because the Seahawks think I do like that a lot. I like that first quarter play. I think that's a first half, first quarter. Let's see what the odds are. -0.5 at +104. I think that's really, really good value. Broncos -3 at the half. At the half, let's see. I'd like it at 2.5 a little more. I'd like it at much more at 2.5. But you know what is what it is, Coach. How you doing, Coach? It's 3.5 on. It's the first half spread's 3.5 on. First half spread's 3.5 on FanDuel right now. Geno over a half an inch. Yeah, but it's like -180. I never want to do that. Marlins Nerfy for the coach. Coach, what's the Marlins Nerfy at today? The Marlins Nerfy. The first one, -125 for that first one, or the second one? Which one are you talking about? Pray for me. It's not easy being a Cowboys fan. I agree. Tell me why I feel like the Broncos might sell tonight. Here's why the Broncos are. If the Broncos are going to sell, here's why the Broncos are going to sell. Now, I am banking on them not selling. I'm banking on them covering 6.5. But if they're going to sell, here's why they're going to sell. Russell Wilson's going to be too juiced up for this game. He's not going to have this offense in rhythm defensively. They're going to get beat up in the run game because we know the Seahawks can run the football behind Rashad Penny. We know they can do damage with Rashad Penny. We saw it in the last 5 games of the season. He went over 130 yards in 4 of his final 5 games, including a 190-yard performance. if Rashad Penny gets going, it could be a long night for the Denver Broncos, pending Russell Wilson is not ready to play. Now, I think Russell Wilson will be ready to go tonight, playing against his old team, but that would be the reason they would sell. Seattle's able to run the ball, control clock, and Denver just can't get anything going on offense. And we saw that a lot this week with favorites. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they cover 6.5. But if they're going to sell, that's going to be the reason. It's going to be Seattle's run game. It won't be Geno Smith. I can almost assure you that. Geno Smith doesn't light it up for 300 yards. He's a game manager tonight. He makes the throws that is needed to be made in the key moments, and Rashad Penny runs the football. So Rondo, to answer your question, that would be that. Major facts. People forget that, bro. Broncos, Cody, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Jags beat Colts in Duval on Sunday. I don't think so. I think the Colts bounce back with a vengeance. I really do. I mean, from what happened last year combined with how they played this past weekend, I don't think that happens. But anyways, let's get into some player props before we wrap up the show here. Remember, guys, Cold Hard Football Facts. We got 1 million people on Cold Hard Football Facts. Link in bio. I'm telling you guys, these stats are absolute money right now. They are absolute money. Make sure you get on it. Sign up for a subscription right now. Help us out. Get it going, guys, and let's make it happen. Sign up right now. Houston Astros, MLB pick of the day. Houston Astros. My snap. I don't have any nerfies, guys. I'm pretty much not done with the nerfies, but I'm taking a little step back from the nerfies. But guys, sign up right now. I'm telling you that the tools help, the stats help. You're going to be winning a lot of money with it. You're going to be doing it. Come on now. Seahawks cover. I'm fading. There you go, Rondo. Both primetime games went favorite and under. I like dog and over. Would you Broncos Astros parlay? I would Broncos Astros parlay it. I would probably go money line if you're going to do that, just to be a little safer, but it probably wouldn't come out to plus money between the toast two if you went favorites. Why a step back on nerfies? Not a step back, but there's just no nerf. I'm not forcing nerfies now. I'm saving my money for football. I'm not forcing any nerfies. Like I was looking, it's minus 110 Broncos. Yeah, I mean, I think that's worth doing. You might want to add one more leg in, just to, one more heavy favorite in. You could add a heavy favorite next Sunday in a game just to see if anything, if it gets you a plus money, if that means something to you. Broncos running back over 57. I like which Broncos running back goes over 57. That's the biggest question. I think we know it's probably going to be Javonte Williams. If you look at it, he's 58.5 right now on FanDuel, at least. You also have let's see who else. Let's see. Let me pull up DraftKings. It's easier. You also have Melvin Gordon, too, obviously. Broncos over with the teaser. I kind of like that. Seattle might slow him down. I think Seattle's really good. So here's, guys, this is exactly why you got to go to coldhardfootballfacts.com, because I'm telling you right now, Javonte Williams' first touchdown, definitely an option. We can sit here and be skeptical, okay? If I give a good rant right now, I need 5 people to go sign up for Cold Hard Football. I got some player props I'm going to give them to you in a minute here. But this is why you need to go to coldhardfootballfacts.com, and this is why it truly will help you win money. All right? So Rajan brings up a good point. Seattle might slow down. Seattle might come in here and slow down Melvin Gordon. They might come in here and slow down Javonte Williams. And he is very, very accurate, because when we look at how well the Seahawks defend the run, they are very good. They're 5th in defensive hog index, and they are 9th in defensive rusher rating coming into the season. They're a top 10 run stopping team. All right. So we can say the Broncos are going to light it up on the ground. It's going to take Russell Wilson throwing the football to win this game. That's the bottom line. But we can say they're going to come in and light it up on the ground just because, it's the Broncos and they're a better team than Seattle and they don't have a quarterback. Don't be fooled by what Seattle does well. They defend the run very, very well. So be a little cautious on Javonte Williams. That's why you need to go sign up for Cold Hard Football Facts. We have the numbers right here, right in front of you guys. You see it. See the green game capsules? You can see what this team does well and what they do poorly right here on the screen, guys. Make sure you go up, link in bio, sign up. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton will let Russ cook. I agree. I think if anything happens tonight, it's going to be Russell Wilson throwing the football. It's not going to be the run game. You still bench 300, not even close. It's not going to be the run game tonight. Offensive rusher rating for the offensive rusher rate. I shouldn't say that. The defensive rusher rating for the Seattle Seahawks is very good. How much is this Cold Hard Football Facts? $69.99 with the promo code for the entire year. And you get a week free. If you hate it, you can cancel it. Guys, I'm telling you, it's worth getting a free trial. Go get a free trial, sign up for it. I'm telling you, I like the over, leaning over for CJ Chrome, JP Lafferty leaning over. What does that matter? What need a piece? I don't even know what you're saying. Cowboys have, we're talking Cowboys in the comments. I like it. Anyways, guys, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are some things that Seattle does well, and one of them is stopping the run. So that's why you might want to be a little cautious on Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams props tonight. With that being said, let's go to the flip side, and let's go to why I want to play the running back total for the Denver Broncos, or for the Seattle Seahawks. We look at Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny is an absolute animal in his final four of his past. I shouldn't say that. Rashad Penny, absolute animal, right? Final 5 games of the season last year, he went over 130 yards 4 times. His total tonight is relatively low. I believe it's at 57, 58 yards, 68 yards. It's in that range, right? It's between 57 and 68 yards. But here's why Rashad Penny is going to go over his total tonight. He's an absolute animal. They're going to have to pound the rock with him, and Geno Smith is not going to be the guy to light up the scoreboard. For Seattle to win, they need to control clock, and they need to pound the ball with Rashad Penny. And we look at what the Seahawks do very, very well. Again, Cold Hard Football Facts, guys. Go to Cold Hard Football Facts, link in bio, promo code kickoff to sign up. We look at how well they run the football. They were 8th in offensive hog index last year. They had a top 10 offensive line. And on top of that, running the ball, they were 3rd in offensive rusher rating behind Rashad Penny. Penny put up some huge numbers last season. I think that could happen again tonight. Now, I'm banking on the Broncos covering the spread. But for Seattle to win this game, they are going to have to pound the rock. That's going to create a lot of opportunities for our guy, Mr. Penny. And that means he's going to go over his rushing total tonight. So that's a big prop that I'm playing. Also like him anytime touchdown at plus 170. That's a really good value. If Seattle gets near the goal line, Rashad Penny's the one to touch the football. It's not going to be Geno Smith trying to find guys in the back of the end zone because, quite frankly, there's a reason he's a career backup. He can't do it. Make sure you sign up. Cold Hard Football Facts, people. Let's go. Cold Hard Football Facts, link in bio. You see all this stuff, guys. I have it right in front of me. It's very easy. It's very easy to depict because I know I can see green here. Okay, offensive hog index, defensive hog index. Who ranks better? And in the trenches, the Seahawks are a better football team, which kind of concerns me. But when I look at the Denver Broncos, I still think they get the job done because they add that quarterback with Russell Wilson. Cannot believe Titans blew it, guys. That was a poor matchup for them. Hopefully they are a little better moving forward because I can't take much more of that. Derrick Henry got popped yesterday. You know what? Some of the play calling too for them, like they got Derrick Henry. I don't care if it's a loaded box. You got Derrick Henry. Run the football. The man's 6'4", 240 pounds. Run the damn football. I can't believe it either. So that's prop number 1, guys, in this football game. I like Rashad Penny, anytime touchdown, a little sprinkle. It's plus 170, obviously. And then I also like Rashad Penny to go over his rushing total. And then I do like Russell Wilson to go over his passing total tonight, but I also like the touchdown prop over 1.5 touchdowns. It's minus 150. It's a little juice, but this is a good piece to combine in a same game parlay. If you are a Denver Broncos bettor tonight, I think he's going to go over this, not with ease, but I think he's going to throw for 2 touchdowns tonight. You look at what Seattle doesn't do well. We talked about how great they defend the run according to the Cold Hard Football Facts, guys. It's right here on the screen in front of you. You can see it with the green highlights, but defensive passer rating, they're 19th in the league when it came last year, at least when it came to defending the pass. And then their defensive real quarterback rating, which is one of the most critical indicators of a championship defense, they rank 20th. That's how well they defend all aspects of quarterback play. So they did struggle against running quarterbacks last year. Not saying Russell Wilson is a running quarterback, but I know we had a question earlier about, is Russell Wilson going to go over his rushing total tonight? This could be an opportunity to take it just because Seattle's not great at keeping guys in the pocket and keeping contained. We saw that last year. If the Seahawks want to win this game, they got to control the clock. That's what it comes down to by running the football. It's going to be very, very hard to stop Russell Wilson through the air tonight. Who is Wilson passing to though? Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. He's got a lot of targets. He's got Melvin Gordon out of the backfield. He's got Javonte Williams out of the backfield. He's got a lot of guys he can throw the football to tonight. Jeudy or Sutton anytime touchdown. I think it can't hurt to sprinkle both of them, honestly. It's tough to pick between the two. Noah Fant, there you go. It's tough to pick between two, Jeudy or Sutton, who's going to get the majority of the carries. It's going to be this guy steps up one night, this guy steps up the next guy. Personally, I like Jeudy a little more. But that's what it comes down to. I'm signing up. I got you, Tanner. I'm telling you, Randy, like this is the stuff in the these stats are off last year, right? So we added pieces, right? When we get to like week 4, week 5, week 6, guys, we're going to have a lot of really good value when it comes to props, when it comes to spreads, when it comes to totals, because we can look at all this like total wise. All right, we can see how well a team plays defense, how well they play offense based on these numbers right here, guys, based on the green highlights. And it allows us to make an educated bet, right? It makes betting easier. The stats make betting easier. I'm telling you, I'm not charging you, charging you for picks, guys. I'm not giving you my picks. I mean, I obviously give you picks on here. I give you my plays while I'm doing, but I give you that anyways, guys. You tail them or fade them if you want, but you're buying the stats. The stats are absolute money. How do I feel about the under? I think the Denver Broncos are going to lay up the scoreboard. I think Seattle's going to put some points on the board between running the football. So I think you got to lean over in this game. But again, under is also not a terrible bet because I could see the Broncos having trouble through the air and Seattle controlling the ground. So it's whatever narrative you want to come up with in your head. My narrative, at least, is the Broncos can light up the scoreboard through the air, and the Seahawks are going to have some success on the ground. That would lean to an over. But if your narrative is, hey, Seattle's going to struggle to run the football, and the Broncos are just not going to be able to find any targets through the air, and Seattle might rip off some big carries, but overall they're going to go 3 and out a lot, and then Denver's going to do the same thing, then you probably lean under. But my narrative of this game says it goes over, the Broncos cover. Again, though, we all have different takes in our head what's going to happen. Should I give Robert Woods another try or drop him? I had Robert Woods in like a different parlay over 4.5 receptions yesterday. That absolutely killed me. How do you feel about Broncos first quarter? I like Broncos first quarter at a half. If it's at a half, I like it. Let me see what it's at, though. First quarter. Broncos first quarter minus a half at plus 104. I absolutely love that because, like I said, I think Russell Wilson comes out on fire to start this football game. If anything, if the Broncos do slow down, it's going to be after a big touchdown drive, in my opinion. I think it's going to take Seattle a little time to get going. I think Russell's going to come out on fire. He knows what it's like to play in Seattle. He should be feeling good there. But a half at plus 104, I mean, you really can't argue with that. Wilson's pass yards over or under. If you're on the Broncos tonight, I think you got to lean over on that because the way they're going to win this game is not by running the football against Seattle's really good run-stopping defense. It's going to be through the air. I mean, like I said, they were ranked 20th in defensive real quarterback rating, which is how well they defend all aspects of quarterback play. Russell Wilson could have a big night, and that would probably lead to him going over his passing total. Gambling is for suckers. Gambling is for suckers. There's a lot of suckers in America, then, man, because you see like DraftKings and FanDuel, they're literally taking over with ads on TV. I need 35 points in PPR or I lose week 1 out of Wilson. 35's a lot. 35's a lot. How much is your rent? Goof. What the hell are you talking about? What does that have anything to do with gambling is for suckers? Why are you in here then? If you think gambling's for suckers. Gambling's for sucker. We've had 2 really stupid comments on this show. We've had gambling is for suckers. Like gambling's the greatest thing in the world. That's what Vegas is predicated on. What the world's predicated on is gambling. And then number 2, what was the other one? The guy who literally said the like sports is like it's just a game. Like these are like probably the 2 stupidest comments we've ever gotten on here. So that's pretty interesting. Gambling is for suckers. Bro probably let his wife run the house. That was a good one. Need a 10 piece. That was a good comeback. I can't say that comeback, but that was a good one. Kanye 2024. Now we're really getting the crazy comments coming in here. So probably a good time to sign off here in a minute. I saw your first Kanye 2024 comment. I don't need to see it again. Come on now. You dabble in baseball. I play baseball all the time. Guys, I do baseball the majority. Like baseball is the majority of my betting season. Now it's just football, so I'm starting to slow down on baseball. But I do have a lot of baseball plays today. I got a bunch. So make sure you go on follow my profile, guys. You can see them. What do you feel about today? I have Astros minus 1.5. I also see Astros minus 1.5, Tampa Bay, Toronto over 8.5. Those are my 2 main plays. So make sure you go check them out on my page, guys. On my page. The picks are always on there. Sports gambling's about to surge. It's already surging, honestly. I do think the Broncos cover 6.5. I'm playing Rangers as dogs. You think Marlins game goes over? I don't. You can't rely on either of those teams to hit the baseball. But again, if you want to rock with it, go for it. In Texas, you can, I guess, a little bit, but I just don't think it's. I think 7.5 for the first game. I do like the over in there. I think Otto and Rogers are going to both give up runs. That second game today with Garrett and Gray, that might be a little bit of a different story depending on what happens in game 1. Jays is a trap, and I'm a Jays fan. I just need the over. That's why I just need the over. Does Belichick revive in Pittsburgh Sunday? I think they do. I think they might cover, but we'll see what happens. The Patriots just played terrible. Overall, I mean, I don't think they were beat. I think they beat themselves. Deshaun will most likely win MVP. Okay. But those are just like, at least those are crazy sports takes. These other takes of people saying the gambling's just a game or the gambling's not good in gambling and then what was the other comment? It's like football. What did the guy say? Like, it's not, I can't even remember it. It was so stupid. Dodgers minus 1.5 is always a move. Also, the Dodgers did not clinch a playoff spot yesterday, according to Major League Baseball. So just keep that in mind. OJ did it. We know that. We know OJ did it from Brandon Moss. But anyways, guys, any other questions, drop in the chat. If not, we will sign off here. Remember, everything I went off in this show, every stat I do is always going to be, or majority of them, sometimes you got to fade them, is predicated on the Cold Hard Football Facts. We don't really have stats to go off right now because we're using last year's stats. But as we move forward, man, we're going to be rolling here at the channel with the Cold Hard Football Facts. So you got to go up, link in the bio, and get it going. Link in the bio, promo code kickoff, 50% off. That is going to end tonight. I will always offer some sort of promotional discount, usually like 15%, 10%, right? But it's not going to be 50%. That's a significant cut. $70 you pay for that one bet. I paid for it on Thursday night. All right. I won over 120 with the Bills game. 70 of it went to the Cold Hard subscription, right? If I wouldn't have been working for the company and be a stakeholder, and then 50 of it was in my pocket. You will pay for this in one take, guys. Please, please, please go try it. Free trial. Sign up now and get it going. The New York Giants or New York football Giants are winning the Super Bowl. No, man, the people, much love, Randy Johnson. Appreciate it. Dolphins playoff run. Dolphins looked really good yesterday. Great show, brother. Keep it up. Good work. Love that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll be back here. We're here every day, 5 days a week here for the Cold Hard Football Facts show. Also on Sundays. For Win the Day, we're on my personal YouTube channel. That's just general sports betting talk. Tomorrow we'll be back on baseball again, right? Because that's all we got tomorrow. But we'll transition to football as it goes on. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember, Cold Hard Football Facts, 50% off, promo code kickoff, link in bio. I'm telling you, we're not giving this away much longer, so make sure you get it. Any show tonight, Chris? I don't think we'll do any shows tonight, but may go live at some point, but we'll see. Probably not, though. And if anything, guys, pay attention in Discord. I always announce stuff in Discord. Also, Chris, my Forbes article was posted. I just didn't see it. So I posted it in Discord, so you can check it out if you want, but I was right, at least in it. So it was posted. I didn't see it before the game. Cowboys, help us, God. There you go. Rajan, we got tons of baseball. Rajan, you know that you were on the show this morning, guys. Baseball. I know you hate baseball. You don't want me playing baseball, Bruce the vibes, but we had to do it. We had to do it over the next few days. Geno Smith, the undisputed GOAT. We'll see about that tonight, guys. Promo code kickoff, 50% off, link in bio. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode of the Cold Hard Football Facts Show.
Make it some and I'm spending some.